And you are on centralcoastradio.com. Well, Supernova is on in Melbourne this weekend. It was on the Gold Coast last weekend, and Melbourne is coming up this weekend, and Lee and I are heading along to Supernova, of course, which is another one of the conventions that we absolutely love. Lee, what are you looking forward to at this year's Supernova?
Well, as always, there's heaps of people coming along that I'm interested in. I will name a few that I'm really interested in. Stephen Amell.
Yes.
That's a pretty big name to be coming. I'm super excited about that. He, of course, is from the Arrowverse. He's also from Heels and Code 8.
And Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, of course, which I'm very excited
about.
about.
You love that. But for me, it's the Arrowverse that I truly love. We also have Katie Cassidy from the Arrowverse.
Black Canary herself.
Yes. And she, of course, is also from Supernatural and Gossip Girl. So it's great to have 2 stars there from the one world. We also have Emily DeRaven. Now, she is from Once Upon a Time, and I really love that series.
Yep.
It's a beautiful series. And I can't wait to see her. She is, of course, from Lost and also Roswell.
And a very, very good film, if you've never seen it, called Remember Me, where she's in it with Robert Pattinson.
Yes.
One of those movies where you think you know what's happening until the very last frame of the movie where something very, very surprising happens, but she's brilliant in that.
Yes. Now, a very geeky character, but Kevin Sussman, who is from The Big Bang Theory. It's such an awesome TV series. He's also from Ugly Betty and Wet Hot American Summer. I am sure he'll be a lot of fun to listen to. The character he plays on Big Bang, I think, will bring us, some great times with him.
Stuart, in case you're wondering who he is in Big Bang, it's Stuart.
Yes.
And I should actually mention this from a news point of view as well. It was announced this week in America that there's going to be a Big Bang Theory spin-off, but they're not saying which character. But maybe if you head along, maybe ask Kevin whether it's a Stuart spin-off or not. So
so they're probably my major ones. There's more, but I'll leave some for you because there's so many to mention. And we have some of the regulars there that it's almost like
their family.
Yeah, their family. So the Todd Lasantz, Lincoln Lewis, John Jarrett.
And we just want to say John Jarrett is the nicest guy. Lee and I have met him a couple of times at these conventions, and I've interviewed him a couple of times, and he is nothing like his character in Wolf Creek. He's such a charming guy.
He is.
And I think that's one of the things you learn about Supernova as well. Like, you do get that opportunity to meet people. Remember a few years ago, you and I went to see, and her name has gone right out of my head right now, the actress from Farscape that was in Secret Life of Us, Gigi Edgley.
That's it.
And it was at the end of the day, and there was another huge star on in another room, and being a huge Farscape fan, I wanted to go to hers. So Lee and I went to see hers, and because there was only a few people in her room, she actually got down off the stage, came and sat with all of us and did it like a little talk, didn't she?
Yeah, it was awesome actually. It was that up close and personal type of interview, I guess, and Q&A session. You never know what you'll get at these.
We also had another time for Lee and I.
Events.
Yeah, Lee and I also had another moment where Simon Pegg and Nick Frost were just walking around the convention, and we found them and stopped and started talking to them, and they signed posters for us. And
we did not stalk them, just letting you know.
No, we weren't following them. They literally just came around a corner, and again, nicest guys. You could probably excuse Simon Pegg if he wanted to do the whole "I'm a star, don't talk to me" kind of thing, but he didn't. He stayed and talked to us, and
he was lovely.
Signed a few things. My guest that I'm excited for this year, Carl Urban, who is in The Boys, a show that I absolutely love. Not for the kids, so if you're listening at home, don't let your kids watch The Boys, because it's kind of what
pretty full on.
It's about what would happen if the Avengers or Justice League went rogue, and so it's kind of interesting. Look, he's also in Star Trek and Dredd, two of my favorite movies, so I'm definitely excited about seeing him. Tamara Morrison, who on here I noticed they've got him listed as the Book of Boba Fett and the Mandalorian, but of course Australian film lovers and New Zealand film lovers will know him from a lot of the movies that he's made over the years. He's just a legend as far as I'm concerned with the Australian and New Zealand films that he's done. Once Were Warriors, stuff like that. So I definitely can't wait to check him out. Stephen Amell, of course, because I'm a huge Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle fan. Liam McIntyre, I'm kind of excited to see because I'm a Spartacus fan. I don't think you have watched Spartacus, have you, Lee? But
no,
I'm a huge Spartacus fan, so I'm kind of excited to see him as well. Emily DeRaven, as Lee said, as well. Just because I love so many of the movies and stuff that she's done over the years. Now, I do want to point out too, we've actually been asked by the organisers of Supanova to point this out. Some guests have unfortunately had to pull out at the moment because of the fact that their shooting schedules have changed. So if you have already got plans to go, please make sure you check out the Supanova website to make sure that the stars that you want to see are still on. The ones that I can announce as of today that have actually cancelled are Katie Sackhoff from Battlestar Galactica and The Mandalorian. I know there's a few people out there who wanted to go and see her with Tamara Morrison because of the Star Wars link. So just letting you know, Katie is no longer attending. Neither is Emily Bett, who's also from the Arrowverse. Phil Lamar from Justice League and Futurama has pulled out, as Eliza Taylor and Bob Morley from Neighbours and The 100 as well because of their shooting commitments. So just make sure that the stars that you want to see are still on at Supanova. These things happen, unfortunately. They happen at all conventions where people get booked in months in advance and then something changes because of the show they're on or something like that. So, just make sure you check it.
Still lots coming, and the ones that we've just mentioned, none of them have cancelled to date. So there's still lots happening, so don't let it deter you. But yeah, just to note, especially if you're looking forward to one of those actors and they're not coming, obviously you want to know that before you get there.
Yeah, and there's also a lot more stuff there as well, rather than just panels. People like Tom Taylor, who is a very well-known Australian comic book artist who is amazingly working for both Marvel and DC at the same time. That doesn't happen very often. He'll be there not only selling his artwork, but also giving talks for people who are interested in becoming comic book artists. There's another guy I also recommend. I've chatted to him at so many festivals now. He always looks up and sees us and starts talking to us. Dean Rankin. So he's an Aussie comic book artist who started with The Simpsons, but now he's doing the Riverdale comics as well. He's also a great guy to go and chat to if you're looking at getting into the comic book world. There's also people like Mark Ratz, who's going to be there this year, who does special effects and things like that. If you're a fan of the Harley Quinn, Batman and Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtle comics, John Samariva is going to be there again, and he's the guy that last time one of the conventions we were at, it was my birthday, and he found out and signed a Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles poster for me. There are so many things like that. There are also some Australian films being shown there this year. So Monolith is going to be shown. Subject, Talk to Me. Go along and check out things like that. And also the art wall, what they call it, art wall. Lee always loves to go there and pick up some bargains, don't you?
Oh, I always go to the art exhibition area. There's lots of comic book artists actually actually drawing.
Yeah.
But also willing to have a chat with you. They'll sign what you've bought, any posters or any of their artwork. But yeah, there's lots to look at. There's jewelry, there's all sorts of things that are art, but from, of course, the geek world. So yeah, lots of TV memorabilia as well. And then there's the big, I guess, what would you call it? The big shop, exhibition where you can buy lots of not so much the artwork in this area, but You can buy lots of TV memorabilia, loads of different shops that you wouldn't get in one big area usually. Lots of pop culture everywhere and lots of good experiences. So you can use it like a museum and have a look what's around and go, wow, that's magnificent. Could never afford that, but that's brilliant. To there's stuff on sale and there's little bits and pieces as well that you will want to grab. So whether it's a Harry Potter wand to a pillow that that is a character that you love, anything really, there's lots of stuff. So I enjoy just going in there and looking around. I go in there for a couple of hours at a time.
Yeah. And there's always convention specials as well. So a lot of companies will bring stuff and have it marked down a lot. Also with the pop vinyls, like you and I collect, there's quite often exclusives. So make sure you check them out. Just another guest as well that just popped up that I'm really excited to go and see. And it's great timing that she's going to be here. A lot of people don't realize, but the character of Ash in Pokemon is a male, but it is voiced by Veronica Taylor, a female. Just the same way as what Nancy Cartwright does Bart Simpson. Ash is actually voiced by a female, and Veronica Taylor is coming to the festival this year. She also does April in the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles animations as well. So a great time to go and chat to her because, unfortunately, Ash and Pikachu have just been written out of Pokemon for the first time in 25 seasons, I think it is. So there's going to be all new characters in Pokemon going forward. There is still talks of a spin-off, but it might be a good chance to go and talk to Veronica Taylor because I'm sure she'll be able to answer a lot more questions now that she's officially no longer the voice of Ash. So, yeah, she might come back. They might do another spin-off of Ash and Pikachu, but the Pokemon series itself, no more Ash and Pikachu. So go along and chat to Veronica Taylor. If you do want to grab tickets to Supanova, we recommend doing it online because the last few festivals and conventions we've been to have sold out. So go to supanova.com.au, grab your tickets, get a weekend pass. It always works out a little bit cheaper as well, but it's fun for the whole family, isn't it, Lee?
It is. And don't forget there's cosplay for people who love that as well. That's a huge thing. And even if you don't want to dress up and walk around dressed up, which you can, that's heaps of fun too. Obviously, people will enter into the cosplay and be judged, but you can just go for the fun and walk around dressed up. But it's great seeing people dressed up walking around. So even if you don't sit down and watch the actual the outcomes of the competition, don't forget that, and there's things like manga books on sale and things like that. So something for everyone. If you're into anything pop culture, get down there. We certainly usually get a weekend pass when we go, so that sometimes you want to come back and hear the same person talk again because you'll hear something new out of the Q&As and other questions asked. But it's hard to squeeze everything into one day, really, because there's just so much offered. Yeah,
so Supanova Melbourne is on this weekend from 10 a.m. to 6 p.m. on both Saturday and Sunday at the Melbourne Showgrounds. Grab your tickets online, and if you do see Lee and I there, come up and say hi. I'm sure you've seen our photo on the website, so if you see us, come up and say hi. We don't bite, but we'll see you at Supanova this weekend.